Hello everyone, welcome back to town of Salem. The sheep are waiting. Today we are going inside the sheep's mind, not as town, but as Mafia. The goal is not to look perfectly town because perfect town is fake. The goal is to move the room without them noticing. And there it is, I roll Forger, the paperwork role very suitable for Say. Forger is not only about changing wills, it is about changing the story. If town reads the wrong story, town makes the wrong decision. We also have a disguiser, which is useful if we create enough fog. Our red team is 1, 2, 3, and 9. That makes the jailer read much easier, because we already know who is not evil. Let's click the Loud Townies tab and start counting brains. Here is how we do a jailer read. We cheat by looking at the endgame role list in our own head. Since we are Mafia, we already know which names belong to the bad side. So we can read the role list backwards and ask who feels powerful. If someone behaves like they have authority, but they are not on our team. They might be jailer, and here, number 5 gives that feeling. Since the real jailer is dead, I'm going to borrow the costume. I will pretend to be a jailer who jailed 11 and let town fill in the blanks. A fake frame only needs a real reaction. Our disguiser was found by a sheriff, which is not beautiful. But do not panic. Panic makes you small, and we can handle this. When you are Mafia, act 55% evil and 45% town. If you act too towny, it hurts your own team. Say something that makes sense but has a negative effect on town. One for one, classic sheep food. It sounds fair, so town wants to eat it. Eleven is trying to be smart, and that is useful. Smart people become dangerous when they are calm, but useful when they are overconfident. If they trust their own read too much, they begin to self-sheep. Then I do not need to push them hard, I only need to walk beside them. We have to go through this because hesitation gives town time to think. And thinking is bad for us. Now whisper 15 because 15 can become useful noise. We need to act like a stupid townie, not a careful one. A stupid townie can damage town without looking coordinated with evil. Do not let 8 push only us. If pressure has one direction, we redirect it somewhere else. Sheriff might check me tonight, so I need our disguiser to help me. Kill 4 because 4 is mayor. Mayor is dangerous because revealed power destroys conversation control. Now I'm going to forge the mayor as jailer. Not because it is clean, but because confusion is useful. If town has to ask what happened, town is already slower. And when town is slower, Mafia gets more space to breathe. Now we make a move on Edward Bishop. I do not need to explain the whole lie, I only need to plant a seed in his mind. His wild imagination will fill in the details. This is how you act like town, by acting stupid in the right direction. High elo players can sense fake stupidity though. You see, I have not prepared my new will at all. But sometimes chaos itself looks natural. 11 says we had a good start. That is how he sheeped himself. He gave emotional weight to the wrong story. Keep conditioning 15's mind. Small suggestions become big decisions later. You do not need to control a sheep fully, only turn its head 1 or 2 degrees. Now we need to cling quickly before we get voted onto the stand. I say I was visited by Mafia, very innocent, very tragic, very useful. Push 11 back and be confident. Confidence is not proof, but sheep often treat confidence like proof, especially when they are already confused. "15 is working for me now. The seed has grown, and this is why we plant ideas early. Later, the sheep thinks the idea came from its own brain. Six townies versus 5 evils, so this is close enough to take risks. No town support counterclaim, and that matters more than people think. Read the vibes. We must vote innocent to save our teammate. Now deflect onto 11. If they look at us too long, make them look somewhere else. This is not defense, this is redirecting the room's attention. "15 whispers me, and they think I am a moron. That is perfect, because if they underestimate me, they lower their guard. "5 innocent, 3 guilty. If 2 and 9 had voted guilty, 11 would have been gone. I am mad here, because I am serious when I play ranked. And yes, I'm sorry for calling them trash here. The sheep's mind is frustrating, but we still love the sheep. Mafioso was killed by bodyguard, so our godfather picked a bad target. 11 thought I was stupid. Oh, and look at that, he was jailed night 1. The jailer Reed was not imaginary, it was hidden inside the biological pattern. At this point, show a little more evil aura. Not too much, just enough to communicate with the neutral benign. We need to say 4v4, do not vote. Once town loses majority, you stop playing town's game. Every vote can be stolen by the evil bloc. Your calculation might be wrong, Pulse. This is why we count calmly. If your number is wrong, your whole strategy becomes wrong. Edward still thinks town has numbers. That is the sheep's mind. The sheep does not see the whole board. It only sees the story that someone placed in front of it. Always count the numbers, especially when you are Mafia. Evil's goal is not to look pretty. Evil's goal is to work toward destroying town majority. Once town majority is gone, town logic cannot save them. Now let us vote up Edward. He still thinks he is standing on solid ground. But the ground was already moved. Now let us troll the spy. We claim gamma throwing because apparently that is strategy now. Sometimes nonsense is useful if town spends time reacting to the nonsense. How do you avoid getting sheeped? First, you must be able to detect sheeping. Sheeping is not only someone telling you what to do. Sheeping is when someone moves your mind so your decision becomes worse for you. So the first question is simple. Does this action have a negative effect on me? A negative effect is something that makes you weak or makes you small. It can also be something that boosts your ego, because ego makes your thinking unstable. When your thinking becomes unstable, you become logically unsound. A whisper with a logical fallacy is a good example. It might sound helpful, but it bends your judgment. So stay humble, stay neutral, and count the numbers. Do not forget to subscribe. And remember, inside every sheep, there is a vote waiting to be stolen.